Okay, let's cover what the heck is going on in this Ukraine-Russia drama, and specifically how that's going to affect wheat prices and other commodity prices. So here's the deal, you guys. The Ukraine-Russia drama is essentially at a stalemate. The Western countries keep sending Ukraine all these various more and more powerful weapons, but they're not making much progress at all. It's essentially a stalemate on the Eastern Front. And essentially, from what I can tell and what I see on Twitter, they will make an offensive. It makes a little bit of progress. Russia kind of backs up a bit, lets them in, and then just kind of swamps them. And it seems like Russia has an unlimited amount of weapons because they have the capacity. With that said, though, what's going on now is what was 6-9 months ago or so, Russia said, all right, look, the world needs to eat. We're not trying to starve the world. And everybody knows that Russia and Ukraine, but specifically Ukraine, supply dang near half the world's supply of wheat and grain. So here's what we'll do. While we're fighting with Ukraine, we will allow for Ukrainian ships to exit the Black Sea. Now, again, for those of you who aren't very geo up to date, Black Sea. Let's have a look at what's going on here exactly. All right, so this is the Black Sea. You can tell this is Ukraine right here. This is Russia right here. And this is the part that Russia has now taken back a few years back during the Obama years. They took this area here back from Ukraine. So you've got all of this area that's up in contest, and this is what they're fighting over. So Russia says, all right, look, we'll let you transport your grain. Just leave us alone and don't do anything crazy down there, and the world can eat. Well, if you guys saw a couple days ago, Russia's this area right here, Crimea, the bridge to Crimea. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not sure if the bridge is up here on the north part or if it's on the east part. I'm going to guess it's right here on the east part, this bridge. But I could be wrong. Regardless, this bridge got blown up with essentially an underwater submarine, like a drone, an underwater drone that had a bomb attached to it. So Russia says, all right, fine, no more grain. They have now said that anybody who is leaving the Ukrainian ports will be potentially recognized as a military what would you call it? A military craft, a hostile military activity, and they may attack and sink that ship, even if it is just, it could just be the Red Cross, okay? It could be the Red Cross with medical supplies or grain or whatever, but Russia has said, all right, fine, we had a deal, it's over with. And so who's going to be affected are countries like Egypt and Kenya and other countries that do not have easy access. This lady on Twitter, I have no idea who this lady is. She's got 280,000 followers, but she actually has a pretty cool and a pretty legitimate update on what's going on here. She says, for those that have not been following this story on the Russia grain deal, I'll attempt to put it in the easiest terms / timeline. The current deal, which allows Ukraine to export grain through the Black Sea, is set to expire on Monday. The current deal, which was brokered by the UN and Turkey last July and has been extended 3 times. Russia said no extension this time, blaming the West for blocking its exports as a result of restrictions on payments, logistics, and insurance. The United Nations asked Putin to extend the Black Sea grain deal in return for SWIFT access, which is just global banking access. The UN is still waiting on a reply for Russia as of today. However, okay, now hold on. This could affect broad range of commodities, including fertilizer, if a resolution does not come to fruition by Monday. Okay, so that seems pretty straightforward, right? Look, Russia, let's just keep being friends on this front. We can keep the Ukraine-Russia, war, fight, whatever. We'll put that aside, but let's not let the world go hungry. The United Nations is asking. Turkey is asking. All these other countries are asking. That was on like a Friday. And as Russia is sitting there thinking about it, then a bomb blows up on a Russian bridge. Now, what in the world? If they really want them to extend this deal, and they're going to give them access to the global banking system, also insurance companies are pulling out of Russia over this. That was part of the deal, was these global insurance companies could continue to insure various Russian assets, whether it was government or private companies. All of a sudden, a bomb blows up on the bridge? Don't tell me that's coincidence. Just like the pipeline blowing up a few months ago. And so here we go. Now the bomb is blown up, the bridge is destroyed, wheat prices jump higher as Ukraine threatens retaliation against ships going to Russian ports. So, as if it wasn't enough that initially Russia says, somebody just bombed our bridge, we're pulling out of the deal, we will recognize Ukrainian ships and Ukrainian ports as potential military. Now you've got the Ukrainians replying with the same threat, only increasing the threat, saying, hey, you know what? Anybody going to Russian ports is going to be looked at as potential military hostile. So this is only getting hotter and hotter. And then it says right here, Russian military confirms as of July 20th, which is right now, ships traveling through the Black Sea to the ports of Ukraine will be considered carriers of military cargo. So this is, and then also this is a very important thing. You can tell words matter. A few minutes later, they updated their initial report saying it now says it will be considered as potential carriers of military cargo. So again, as if things weren't getting bad, if things weren't bad enough, now we've got Ukraine and Russia both openly saying, fine, any ship that I see in the Black Sea that looks like it might be coming or going to your port, we're going to consider those military and we might attack them. So yeah, now we're watching wheat prices start to increase and various grain prices. Let me see if I can show you kind of a chart here. Yeah, so this is kind of an ugly chart, but you can see on the right side there, that green circle, that is wheat prices spiking about 690, about 690 was it? I'm assuming bushel, 690 a bushel up to 730. So that's almost a 10% jump right there just in a matter of minutes. So